being unemployed is saving my life right now. Yesterday was my last day of unemployment, benefits or whatever. Or not unemployment benefits, but like my insurance benefits from my former employer. And during this doctor's appointment, I had my blood pressure taken. So something that I've always struggled with for not as long as I remember, but for definitely the last couple of years has been high blood pressure. So for reference, I weigh like, I don't know, 170 pounds. I'm 5'11", not like fat or anything, but I definitely don't deal with like stress very well at all. In fact, I'm usually always a very stressed out person. I don't really like handle it well. I don't know, I'm always on edge, burnout probably. Anyways, I go to this doctor's appointment and they take my blood pressure. And the last time I had my blood pressure taken, I had a reading of, I think it was 135/95, which on the bottom number, which I think is like dystolic. Don't quote me on that. But the bottom number is considered stage 2 hypertension. And they told me that as such. They're like, hey, listen, your blood pressure is through the roof. We don't think there's anything wrong with your heart. Your heart seems okay for now, so we don't think it's like an actual like coronary disease or anything, but we're not going to prescribe medication, but you need to like calm down essentially. And this is like last year I was doing a lot of real stressful things regarding my job that I was laid off from just 2 weeks ago, and I had to like, a bunch of deadlines being due at the exact same time, and I had to like get everything figured out during that time. So that's probably what contributed to that really high blood pressure reading. But I took my blood pressure yesterday at this doctor's appointment, and they said my blood pressure was 115/66, which is well within normal range on both accounts. Basically, I'm fine, right? Like, I don't have high blood pressure. Doesn't mean there's like not something wrong that I have no idea about, but as far as I can tell from the blood panels that were taken, everything was mid-range. The doctor said I'm good on everything. He said there's no cause for concern. Granted, that's probably part of it's because of my age. I think I'm absolutely ancient, but in the medical world, 30 years old is really not old at all. So I guess whatever. Good to hear. But yeah, that just kind of got me thinking, like, I lowered my blood pressure by like 20 points on the top end, and on the bottom number it's 24 points. Like, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know like what that actually really means outside of the fact I'm within normal and the doctor says I'm good to go. So I'm assuming I'm good to go. But I was thinking like why my blood pressure has been lowered recently. Ever since getting laid off from my job, I noticed I just feel like incredibly calmer. I'm not like the best speaker. I don't really like enunciate things very well. I tend to say and like a lot. Hopefully in the future I'll probably get better at that. I'm actually trying not to like, say filler words to try to come off as more authoritative and better well-spoken or whatever. But yeah, like I've been more grateful recently, and I've been a lot calmer in the past 2 weeks that I've been unemployed, and it's like, yeah, it's so much better just like not being stressed out all the time. I'm just kind of feeling really grateful that I was laid off and I got a severance and I had enough time to kind of gather myself and think. And I was just kind of thinking like, get a new job. And of course, like when you're unemployed, I don't want to be like, oh man, being unemployed is the best thing in the world. Oh, you just quit your job right now, dude. Just live on the streets, be a bum. Obviously, like the reason I'm so calm and I'm so grateful and I'm so chill right now and everything's medically is kind of going a lot better for me than it has in the past. It's probably because of the fact that I have money and I have a cushion that I built up to myself through the hard work that turned me into that stressed out, burned out guy. So I think I want to go over kind of like a couple of things that I've learned while being unemployed. Number one I've learned while being unemployed, definitely the importance of sleep. It sounds dumb, but like when I was at my job, I really only slept like maybe 6 hours a night, maybe. I toss and turn a lot too, so it probably looked more like 5. And a lot of that wasn't like really like any sort of extreme deadlines that I had, because the job I had, it was about 50 hours a week, which some people may think that's a lot, but some people may think that's nothing. I don't have a wife, I don't have kids, I don't even have a pet, so honestly, I could easily sleep like 10 and 11 hours a night if I really was calm enough to and wanted to. But that's the thing, I never really was like calm enough and never really wanted to like actually sleep that long. But now that I've kind of had some space of not having a big stressful event that I had to go to every single day and being burnt out, which is probably most of the problem, I tend to sleep 8 hours a night pretty easily. And I go to bed early too. I go to bed like 10, I wake up at 6, like every day on the dot without an alarm, which is kind of nice and honestly makes me feel like a lot better throughout the day. And another thing too is like my caffeine intake. I know I made a video about how everyone's addicted to caffeine. Like back when I was at my first job, when I first started like really getting addicted to caffeine, I used to drink 6 or 7 cups a day. And that's because I was doing taxes all day and I thought that was just kind of normal. And I kind of carried that habit, I guess, like through my entire like working career. And I never really thought that was a big deal. I mean, people would tell me like, hey, Eric, you drink a lot of coffee. you sure you should drinking that much? And I'd always say like, yeah, it's fine. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. However, like just getting away from that stressful environment and just kind of like finding more peace for myself, I've noticed that my caffeine intake has decreased a lot. Like I think I'm only drinking around like maybe 1 or 2 cups a day now, which I think is fine. I don't think coffee's like and caffeine's like some big, I know I made a video on like how everyone's addicted to caffeine, but no one watched that. So who cares? I don't think caffeine's like a huge big deal. I don't think it's like, going to ruin anyone's life, but it can get, when it gets excessive, and when it gets excessive, that's when it can become dangerous. So I don't know. It's kind of made me more aware of like how much caffeine I'm drinking and like how much I was really consuming in like just milligrams every day. And I've kind of cut back on a lot. So that's probably contributing to my decent blood pressure rating and probably contributed to how bad my blood pressure was before. And also a lot of things like conversations kind of come easier with people. Like I look up more. That's the thing. I think when you're like really mad and you're stressed out, you don't really do things like look up. You're always looking down. You're always kind of like, grr, I hate my life. Grr, I don't want to be here. Grr, I hate this job. Grr, I have to go to work tomorrow. I can't believe this. So you're always like looking down. I think that's something that people do when they're frustrated without really realizing it. At least that was certainly something I was doing. So now I actually look up and I kind of noticed that like a lot of people are generally pretty friendly towards me. Well, not friendlier than I used to think. So I used to like have my head down and things. If I wasn't like directly trying to talk to you, then it wasn't a big deal. But like just like normal, like you see like an old person, I used to always just be like, oh, whatever, I don't want to talk to this person, what, and go away. And it's like, yeah, I've had some of the best conversations I've had probably in like months at least, in the past couple of days, past 2 weeks really, just by randomly being in places and just looking up, right? And somebody see you, make eye contact, you're like, hey, how's it going, sir? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? What'd you hear? What'd you say? Right? That kind of thing. I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on this second week of unemployment. Well, now going into my third week of unemployment. And yeah, if you made this far, subscribe, like the video, comment if you want. You can comment anything. You can comment how much you hated the video if you want to. If you really feel that way, that's fine. And yeah, until next time, take care.